What's going on, everyone? Hey, what's going on, Will Lan? How you doing? Crazy day in the markets today, eh? Yeah, I'm looking at the pre-markets right now, and all the major indexes seem to be going up now. Oh, at work today, I saw the Dow Jones was dropping like 900 points or something like that, and yeah, I had to end up buying a couple different companies, and then yeah, it's like half an hour till the end of the trading day, and then everything just started going right up after I bought. But yeah, I was kind of anticipating it to drop a bit more though, so or else I would have bought more than I did. But if it drops more, I'll spend the rest. If it just bounces up, I guess I'll keep some cash. What's going on, Mr. Hayabusa? How are you? Yeah, I saw this morning before I went to work and checked the pre-markets. I saw they were way down, but what's going on, Johnny? How are you? Yeah, so when I woke up to that, I was kind of all over the markets today. But it's good to see everything going up now. That's kind of nice. Yeah, so I'm just kind of checking the markets, seeing what's going on after the crazy day we've had so far today. Yeah, I didn't buy any silver today, but I did blow my savings for the $10 a week challenge over the weekend. After all those weeks, I haven't really been buying for it. I've just been saving cash, and then yeah, I kind of blew it all this past weekend. Silver could still go down and everything, but I just don't want to be greedy. Uh, I got the wolves there. That's a recent purchase that I made, but other than that, the skull in the middle there, that'd be my last pour, and that's the only recent stuff that I got. I guess the other skull too that I poured pretty recently. I actually ended up buying for the $10 a week challenge though, Johnny. I ended up buying mainly half dollars, although I did get a couple cool Superman coins. There's a Superman coin and a Superman versus Batman half ounce coin. So did a little a little bit of collecting in the $10 a week challenge, not just stacking. Although I have been seeing the one coin that I've been wanting to get that I've been seeing available lately that I've been wanting for a while is the second Creatures of the North at the Bullion dealer. That's not too far away from my place. Maybe about a 15-20 minute drive. They have them available, so yeah, I want to get one of those any day now, pretty much. But I'm not able to make it there before they close, unfortunately. So as soon as I can, I'm gonna run down there and get one. first coin in that series would be the Kraken. I'm sure all of you, though, have seen the Kraken. What's going on? Scott loves YouTube. How are you? 4. Yeah, so I'm just kind of checking the markets tonight, but kind of bored. And I'm like, okay, whenever I get bored, I'm just gonna start doing some live streams. Switch it up, not just keep doing videos all the time. What's going on, Amanda C? Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to be alive. It's good to do something other than just make videos and change it up, keep it casual a bit more. Hello, Amanda C. We've been hanging all day. That's funny. So who here has gotten any of those Type 2 reverse proof eagle sets? I haven't seen anyone get any of them yet. Or at least not do an unboxing or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, I heard it was crazy. I heard it took some people a couple hours. Although I think Coin Crew said he got one in like 2 minutes or something, so I guess he got lucky, but yeah, I know what you mean. I'm the opposite way, Will, and I normally get unlucky when I try to order from the mint. Normally, when I try to order from the mint, I just keep getting booted off. They get frustrated after an hour. I'm like, who cares? I'm going to miss out on this one. I tried. Oh, nice. So some people actually have gotten theirs. It's pretty crazy the difference when, at least as a Canadian, when I see the difference in the Royal Canadian Mint as opposed to the US Mint when it comes to items and how fast they sell out. Normally, the Royal Canadian Mint stuff's available for quite a while, normally a few days before it sells out. What's going on, Cash Money Silver Stacker? Then when I go to the US Mint, it's like things just sell out immediately. It's crazy the difference. And then even with the Royal Canadian Mint, they have the stores that sell their stuff for them. So even if it sells out right away from the mint, you can, like, I could normally snag one, like all their coins a couple weeks after the fact from all of the dealers that they have that sell the Royal Canadian Mint items. So I think it's kind of crazy just seeing how fast those things sell out and how many people go on the website. Like one website that I like when the Royal Canadian Mint sells out and all this stuff is the CDN coin. They always have stuff a couple weeks after the fact. They still have R&D lab coins that the Royal Canadian Mint makes. Those things are crazy. Some of the coins the Royal Canadian Mint has been making lately, the technology that goes into it just blows me away. Pin 10, what's going on? Ring constitutional. So, what's everyone's thoughts on the the big dip that we've had in the markets today? Monday surfing. Yeah, I'm just kind of bored, and I figure whenever I get bored, I'm just gonna entertain myself by starting to do a live stream or something like that. Don't really have the time to make as many videos as I have been lately, but might as well hop on, do a live here or there. Yeah, I had to buy a TD Bank today, right before the close, and then just started markets turned around right at the end of the day. Pretty happy about that. Now all the pre-markets are saying that everything's gonna go up, so or at least last I checked. Yeah, then we have one thing that's going to be crazy is October too. I think that could get crazy with the silver price. Just with all the cars and everything shutting down production line, all those manufacturers. Like Toyota announced today that they're planning on shutting down more production in October, so that could be another little opportunity for all of us. What's going on, Wild West Stacker? Have you been? Thanks again for helping me out with the collab video. What's going on, Antorta? How are you? Not too much, Wild West Stacker. Just kind of got bored hopping on to do a quick little live stream here. Talk about the crazy day we've had with everything dip, basically. Everything but gold and silver, pretty much. Although I guess silver already had its dip, so yeah, I really didn't. It's already a buying opportunity. At least the way I see it. So have you been, Antorta? Yeah, have you seen the relief on some of the Royal Canadian Mint coins they've been making lately? It's pretty crazy when you actually turn it to the side like that. I don't have it out right now, but that Lynx coin I had will have, but just seeing the relief on some of those, or like the Rocky Mountain coin that was just released, or that Buffalo that was just released. Oh, the Mando coins just dropped on Amex today. Nice. I've never been into the Star Wars stuff too much myself, but I do have to say those Beskar bars were really, really nice. I really like how they the lines all continued side to side and everything, and they all matched up and all that. It's a nice, classy bar. It's like the St. Helena bars. Yeah, those are that relief on those coins that they're making. So cool. So I want to get one of those R&D Labs multi-layered coins. I want to get the Cougar that they have. That's a really, really pricey coin. Those multi-layered coins don't go cheap. And it's kind of hard to convince yourself to spend like $500 on an ounce of silver or a one coin or whatever. Yeah, the next coin I think I'm going to get is that second in the Creatures of the North. The werewolf. That is a real nice coin that I want to get. That's probably next on the list, but there's a few really good series that are out right now. Yeah, I agree, Wild West. Those things are really, really nice. I saw Ragtag's video that he did on the werewolf coin, and I'm surprised that they even came out with it in 2021. They said it was going to be biannual, the Royal Canadian Mint for the Creatures of the North. So to see a 2021, I was pretty surprised. I thought the next one was going to come in 2022. What's going on, RC Wenzu? Jimmy Lucari? Saw? How are all of you? I ended up paying 31 each for the Mando Star Wars coin today before they go up. Yeah, 31 each for those is not a bad deal. I'm pretty sure they're going to be going for a bit more after the fact. I'm pretty sure AppMax is going to raise the price on them before they even sell out or anything from there. That's one thing that I never understood about the Canadian coin shops. Once they post something for a price, it tends to be that price till it sells out. And I've never understood why they never just raise the prices when everyone's definitely willing to pay more than what they're charging. They're $32.39 now. There you go. The super high relief. No, I have not seen that one. I'm a big sucker for those extreme or ultra high relief or just the crazy relief kind of coins. I'm a real sucker for them. Well, the only extreme high relief coin that I do have is that the Lynx. Although that's probably my favorite coin in my stack, well, in my collection. Oh, the wolf coin there, the yin yang one. I really do like that one too. That could be my second favorite. Yeah, there. This this is probably my second favorite silver coin that I have, but Yeah, they're definitely not cheap though. Not too bad when you get them from the mint, but on the secondary market, it's crazy what they're going for. I haven't even been able to find this one on the secondary market. But I saw the horse, the one that came before it. It's like $700 or $800 now or something. Like the cheapest I could find. Crazy. Oh, the 27. I'm a huge fan of that too, Wild West. What's going on, Silver Scorpion? Yeah, I was shocked when I found out that it was a working compass. I was actually shocked to find that out, Wild West. That's a coin I wish I got. Well, I could have gotten it at a decent price. I feel like I missed out on that one a bit. It's all good though. You win some, you lose some. Definitely overpaid for a couple coins, but I've definitely gotten a great deal on a few of them. Yeah, 350. That'd be a bit more than 350 when you're talking Canadian dollars too. Yeah, it's a bit out of my price range. But yeah, it's a real nice coin. So I've always wanted to start collecting the reverse proof eagles, but I've never actually gotten any until the Type 2 came out. The set. That'd also be my first Type 2 eagle that I got. I don't really have, well, I don't have any other Type 2s, so I finally have one. Yeah, one thing I like about the US Mint though is they have a schedule list for when they're going to release the next products or anything. Royal Canadian Mint doesn't do that at all. They just kind of drop a bunch of coins on their website one day and then you're just overwhelmed by like 5 or 10 at once or something sometimes. Yeah, I tend to agree, Wild West, but I still want to get at least one in my stack, in my collection. Oh, sweet Silver Scorpion. I have no MS70 Type 2s or Type 1s. Only have that Poseidon there. That's my only MS70. I don't really have too many slab coins. I have slab Morgans, but that's about it. And then the Poseidon coin there. Yeah, to be honest, I think that there's a better chance of the Type 1s from 2021 increasing in value than the Type 2s. Just because everybody's getting the Type 2s right now as opposed to the Type 1s. But I'm not I'm not the greatest at predicting what coins will go up in value or not. I just kind of collect what I want. I'm not really into the flipping of coins. But I do have a feeling like the type 1s would have a better chance of going up. Yeah, I actually only have one Ike dollar, one silver Ike. I won it from Pirate Stacker a while back, and I still have it and everything. But definitely not slabbed or anything like that. Yeah, it's funny when you just have a box filled with everything that the community gave me and all that kind of stuff, keep it separate aside. It's crazy when I look through it. All the stuff's like that was sent to the channel and everything like that. It's crazy. I should do a video on it sometimes. Give an update every once in a while. So I wonder what's going to come next with the Gods of Olympus series there. I hear there's going to be a Goddesses of Olympus as opposed to Gods of Olympus coming out soon. What's going on, Pastor Mo? Oh, so it's just the 3 coins, Johnny? For some reason, I thought there was going to be 6. Although maybe that was 3 in a different series, and for the Goddesses of Olympus, and that's just going to be a completely different series. What's going on, retired Navy Rob? How are you? Yeah, I hope that series isn't done, though. Although if it is, it's not too bad. Oh, so I see what's going on. So they're gonna finish the Gods of Olympus and go to the Goddesses of Olympus. That's probably gonna be 3 and then 6 coins in total. Athena, Aphrodite, Artemis. Oh, I see. Thanks for serving, Rob, sir. I bet you served America, but I'll say thanks for serving too. We're allies. Just getting off work and listening on my drive. Well, thank you very much, Rob. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate all of you for being here tonight. Don't you just hate it when your cat tries to go right on your keyboard? Starts pressing all kinds of weird buttons? Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a grading membership or something like that at some point. I think that would be a pretty cool thing to do. Every once in a while, I get come across a coin that, like coin roll hunting or something like that, that I just want to know the grade of. It might not be the most valuable or anything. It's like, okay, I think I have a 68 or 69 or something here. Kind of want to get it graded. Though I'm not sure where I'd go for a grading company. I kind of don't like the Canadian companies. They don't slab it or anything like that, so that nobody fully trusts it. They just kind of think, oh, this could be a different coin. You could just pull it out, put a different one in the slip or whatever, and it kind of means nothing. From all the Canadian coin grading places like ICCS and all that. In my opinion, if you get it graded, you kind of want to get it back in the slab or something. Oh, you're thinking about getting your wife's Morgan slab? Yeah, I could see some people not wanting to have their coins lost in the mail potentially or anything like that. Yeah, I was about to email someone about a coin I bought off of them the other day, but then I'm like, okay, there's another coin that didn't get here, then another coin, and then I'm like, okay, something's going on with the mail or whatever. It's not them, clearly. It's what it's like 3 or 4 different things. It's okay, this is a mail thing, not exactly a them thing. Yeah, there's a lot of fake slabs out there. Just because it's in a slab and has all the right packaging or whatever definitely does not mean at all that it's legit. Thought a slab had 100 spokes and switches. Yeah, so it's kind of funny just looking at the markets again here. Every single time that I end up going back there, all the pre markets are up more. That was a nice little dip. Seemed like everything but gold and silver went down today. What's going on, Juan Velasquez? Yeah, I think it's kind of funny though. Just going into today, I was watching a lot of Sarge 27271. It's got me researching all this Evergrande stuff before today. I thought it was so funny. Thanks, Juan Velasquez. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, not a whole lot's going on here. Going on here. It's just a hangout. Kind of got bored and figured I'd go live. I could entertain myself, no longer be bored, hang out with all of you guys. Third wheel motion. Yeah, I don't like to have anything planned for my streams. Every time I plan things out, nothing really goes as planned, so I just tend to I come to hang out. That's about it. I'm not sure if it'll go below 22 this week, but I think it could have a bad October with more car manufacturers shutting down production lines. That might weigh a bit on the price of silver, but the production lines will come back. It just means that could be a potential buying opportunity. What's going on with BC Treasure Trails? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I guess they went down, but it's basically like the same price as it was. Like we never really like we don't really notice it. It's not like a few percent drop. I forget to read the chat in my streams. That's funny. It's all good though. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely agree with Juan Velasquez. When the when things like this happen, when the price moves up too fast, you kind of know that there's going to be a bit of a pullback, and when things move down too fast, you kind of know that there's going to be a bounce. Thank you very much. Ring Constitutional. Love everyone in the Southern Hemisphere too. Yeah, today didn't really buy any more silver or gold, although I did buy a decent amount on the weekend. But yeah, I had to take some of the cash that I had from everything I sold a couple weeks ago and had to buy a few things today. Biggest purchase would be the TD Bank, but that's just all a part of that movement from growth stocks into value, as I said before. What's going on, K Titus? How are you? I normally go to my LCS, but there is also a Bullion dealer near me. And I've been going to the LCS lately just because I want to get some junk silver, stuff like that. And the Bullion dealer, they just have Bullion, but it's kind of bad for ordering from them online because they have a $30 flat rate shipping. But since I could just go down and drive from there, I find Border Gold would be by far the best prices for me. Yeah, I've been wondering about that $18 silver spot. I've seen a few videos that have said that, and I wanted to go back and watch them later on tonight once I get Mini Mill to bed. But I'm wondering, why is everyone saying the $18 silver? Because I could see silver dropping too, but I'm wondering what's going on with the 18. Is that just a best guess? Probably going to drop more than just a dollar or two, or oh, that's kind of seen as the support level. I could see how that would be. That was kind of a barrier is trying to get past before. I could see how that could be a psychological support. I remember remember pre-pandemic, everyone's like, "Oh, that's great. I'm near $18. I want to wait till it drops like 20, 25 cents." And then we're talking now that seems like nothing compared to the price swings we're having since then. But I remember just, oh, I want to wait till it drops 20 cents or something like that. Now oh, it's only $2 more than, or like it's above my support where I'm comfortable buying, but the premiums aren't atrocious here, so yeah, it'll work out. Which, although when people kind of made their barriers and nobody expected this much money to be printed either. I definitely didn't when we started the whole Beaver Fever shenanigan thing going on. All the money printing from that. See, I always think about premiums in percentage as opposed to price. Because it seems like as price goes up, premiums go up. As price goes down, premiums go down when it comes to price. That's kind of just the way I've always seen it. But there used to be a 10% premium. But one fascinating thing that I've noticed throughout like all like pre-pandemic till now is like the spread used to be 10%, so there'd be a 10% premium on the silver you buy, but then when you sell it back to the bullion dealer or whatever, it'd be selling it back to them at spot. Nowadays, there could be a 20% premium when you go to buy your silver, but you're still selling that silver at 10% over spot. So there's only a 10% spread still, just like before. So the spread I find in terms of percentages is the exact same as it used to be, even though premiums are way higher now as opposed to where they were before. And I found that very, very fascinating. Like that 10% spread, that's the margins that the bullion dealers are taking. And it's kind of basically like the spot price is like 10% higher than where it is today. You can kind of think about it like that with the premiums, but the spreads are the same. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if 32 an ounce in a few years seems really cheap. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a slingshot this year. I really don't. I see the price potentially going down from here and ending the year a bit lower than where it is today. But I like to stack and buy assets when they're not in style, when they're not in favor. Nobody's running up the price on them and stuff like that. If the price keeps dropping, like my favorite stock to buy right now is Rio Tinto. It's a mining company, and it's out of favor. Nobody's buying it. The price is tanking, and I'm just continuously buying it while the price is tanking. Like it's near $100. I waited till it dropped till about 74 till I started buying. But I know it's dropping because there's a strike up in northern BC, even though it's an Australian mining company. I live in BC. I know a decent amount about that strike. So that strike will be settled pretty soon. I would be surprised if it goes on for months and months and months. And on top of that, iron ore prices dropped, which will hurt them. But when we're talking about all this infrastructure upgrades everywhere, there's going to be a lot of rebar used, a lot of iron that will be used, and the prices I do believe will go up. So I'm just continuously buying it while the price is just dropping like a rock. I'm not trying to time the bottom or anything like that. That's why I'm buying silver now. I'm fine with the price. I don't know what's going to come next. There's a whole long list of black swan events that have a decent chance of actually happening in all this madness. And who knows when any of them could pop up or happen or anything, so I'll just continue to buy now and not try to time the bottom or anything. Yeah, I've got a few. There's a few things that I wouldn't mind seeing drop a bit more. Like Rio Tinto, I'm just buying that like crazy. I'm buying it's same as silver. What's going on, Plumber Stacker? Good to see ya. Yeah, finally got the live stream to work. Yeah, finally got it to work. No, I've tried a few times and had some epic fails. How are you tonight, Plumber? Yeah, so now the pre-markets are saying the implied open's gonna open for the Dow Jones at least up 200 points. Crazy. I feel like every time it drops like that though, you gotta anticipate a bounce. Just like every time it runs up way too fast in a day, you have to anticipate a sell off the next day. Some profit taking. Boundaries is my struggle. Have any of you seen any of those new coins that are the multi-layered from the Royal Canadian Mint? $50 face value of 90% halves and $50 face value of 90% cores. So $100 face value. That's a lot. Oh, so that's brand new. I see. Yeah, I've always been a fan of the half dollars. I want to start a Flying Eagle quarter collection. The Standing Liberty quarters. Good night, Pastor Mo. Yeah, I always try to get the 90% as opposed to the Canadian 80% because you can get a bit more at resale when you get the 90%. I actually try to avoid the 80% Canadian junk silver and always get the 90% whenever I can. I think silver will have a bad October. I kind of said this about September, and I think for the same reasons, it's gonna have a bad October. We're gonna have more, like Toyota's announced more production lines shutting down in October, and I can't see I can't see the price ending the year up from where it is today. Where if it goes to mid 18s, I don't know. I'm not gonna call a price range. But I think it'll be ending the year down from where it is today. I think it depends on how fast it crashes vacation time. If it crashes too fast, I think silver and gold are definitely going to be affected. If it's a slow crash, if it continues to crash, I mean the pre-markets are up right now, but if there's a crash and it's a slow progression, I don't see gold and silver really suffering too much. It's the margin calls I find really in the market crash drag down the price of gold and silver, and I find you don't get the margin calls if it's a slow crash as opposed to if it's a high speed crash, let's say. Once you get those margin calls, yeah, gold and silver they're tanking. But last time we had margin calls, as soon as they tanked, we had panic buying. I was panic buying, and I'm very happy I did panic buy. As you're being really odd, slowly but surely the diamond hand becomes weak. Yeah, I think the markets are going to be completely turned upside down. 'Cause I just don't see where the justification is for half the companies to be at the price they are today. I really don't see the justification for it. Everyone's trying to find an excuse. I feel like right now. Like I bought stocks in the dip today, but I put what I did though is as it crashes, I'm just gonna continuously buy as it crashes, and if it doesn't go down anymore, I'm just gonna check the box if I bought at that spot or whatever, and then see if it goes down below it. Wait and see what happens, and if it goes below, I'll keep buying. If it doesn't, I'll just hold the cash. At least that's kind of the way I'm navigating the craziness that's going on right now. Yeah, Evergrande is crazy. Just trying to wrap your mind around what the implications of that could be is insane. I feel like everyone's thinking they better bail him out. Yeah, and the beaver fever. Then there's the inflation. In Canada, we don't even know who our leader's gonna be in a little bit here because we're having the election today. Already voted a week ago, but yeah, I can see crypto really benefiting Silver Scorpion. I don't. I've net. I've never been for crypto, but I do have to say one thing about it. Hey, what's going on? Successful slave is I had a different perspective with was it El Salvador that adopted crypto? But wherever they were that adopted crypto, I thought of it like from our perspective, it's hyper risk cryptocurrency and everything, but from their perspective, that's a way more safe than any than their own currency. And when you start to change the perspective and put yourself in a lot of different people's shoes, it starts to make sense. It might not make sense for like someone in my position here today, if you know what I mean, but for me it's just speculation if I were to buy into it. But for a lot of these people, that's a safe haven. Like this is a smart move, and it's like a sure thing for them pretty much. And it's even if it drops 50%, they're thinking, well, I could have lost 100% in just a week. 50% in one day, then a bounce back. I'm good with that. Because there's some crazy movements with crypto, but some of those crazy movements with crypto are a lot less than a lot of different currencies out there. And when you're in a country with currency having that kind of volatility, it could be crazy. But yeah, I guess everything's just all about perspective. I used to really trash the cryptos or whatever, but then it's just once you kind of I switched that perspective a bit. I started putting myself in a lot of these different people's shoes and everything like that. And just because it doesn't make sense for myself and where I'm at in life today, doesn't mean it doesn't make perfect sense for others. What's going on, Muscle Shell? How are you? I'm not for crypto, but if I can make bank off of it, I will. I feel like that's the general consensus, but once we starting to have countries like El Salvador and stuff adopted, like there's going to be more, I do believe. I can't see them being the only ones to adopt Bitcoin, but I feel like for everyone in the West, it's speculation, but for it's going to start to become more of a currency in other areas of the world. Well, I think I heard in Zimbabwe. Hey, what's going on, Sarge 27271? But I think I heard in Zimbabwe, since they don't really have banks or anything, there's like a it's really just sending crypto to everyone, and there's all these digital payments and stuff. And it's funny because when they started explaining all the different digital payment systems and everything, I'm like, oh, it's like Canada. Because we really don't use any cash or anything up in Canada. Everything, all payments everyone makes is digital. First inflation, then deflation, finally hyperinflation. Yeah, I think it all depends on the certainty of. I think we're going to be in for some crazy inflation if it gets to the point of hyperinflation. I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% sold on that yet. I'm pretty sure Canada's in stagflation right now, though. I'm pretty sure. Like our last GDP numbers were shrinking, and then we have I think it's like 3.7 or 4.1% last inflation numbers that came out, like, and 1.1% contraction in the in the GDP. Like that's bad. Hey, what's going on, former? Yeah, I know what you mean with that. Just getting people used to more and more digital payments and everything. The premise behind cryptos is genius. The fact that the present cryptos are competitors to existing sovereign currencies makes me believe the goobers are just waiting for theirs to be ready. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy how it's like they're legitimate competitors at like cryptocurrencies now. I never would have guessed. Like I did the video laughing at NFTs and stuff like that, but let's face it, the guy who made Crypto Kitties is like he's gonna be extremely wealthy off of that idea. It's crazy when you think about it. Like I could laugh at him all day, but hey, that's a genius idea. I don't know how he managed to sell it. Like the morality behind selling it, I think, is questionable, but morality changes with every person. I just think it's like just purely money making. I think is a genius. Some things like that, like I don't know who comes up with that idea, but it is genius. Yeah, the pet rock is $300,000. That JPEG of a rock. I have the free JPEG of a rock on my phone, but I mean he sold it for $300,000. Oh, for sure. Currency is the biggest power that government has over the public. Yeah, and it's supposed to be illegal to make cryptocurrencies and all that stuff too now, but I think it's funny because nowadays you could just make an NFT and trade it like a currency, and somehow that's all legal and everything. I don't get the laws behind currency creation and anything. They don't seem to be consistent. Dive into who invented the hashing technology used by Bitcoin. Hint: it's an alphabet agency. This is why I believe the CBDC's precursor. Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. Electric car VSIce engine. Electric power versus coal. Have you seen any of those steam engine cars? They're really cool, actually. And they sound like a train with like the from the engines and everything. So like you'd be going down the road in a steam engine car, and everyone will think like a train's headed at them and everything. Like there's no train tracks around. I don't care what anyone else says. It's a pound sign. That's so funny. You think about some of those hashtags. Pound me too. That's so funny. That's definitely what they're going for there, Johnny. CIA has been in every Bitcoin conference, symposium. Know exactly how it works. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do know exactly how it works. I would be surprised if they did not know how it works. We need steam power cars with nuclear reactors. Yeah, I was thinking about that when Texas froze B2 constitutional. When power goes out, like how it did in Texas with all the freezing and everything that was happening there, what would cryptos get you? Like nothing. Where I could open my safe, everything will still be there. That's funny. I've actually done a couple transactions. Like I bought whatchamacallit, bought wheels with some silver once for my car. That's funny how like with people you could actually like they'll take it. They don't care if they don't need to be a stacker. They're just like, what can I get for it? I'm like, okay, you can just go to this like you check out this website, check out their address, like, oh, how do I know it's real? Drop it on the table, listen to the sound. Like it's silver is there's something about silver where you could just tell with that sound. Something about that sound, it just you know when it's pure, you know. Like I remember walking down the street the other day and I remember being like, that guy's got a silver like quarter or something in his pocket. Like I could clearly hear he's got a silver coin in his pocket, jingling around with their other change. Yeah, it's pretty crazy when you think about all the hacking that goes on with cryptos. For me, that's probably the biggest deterrent in me holding cryptos myself, just the amount of hacking. Like Coinbase got hacked. I'm thinking, okay, if Coinbase is getting hacked, I'm definitely gonna be getting hacked if I have cryptos. There's no way I wouldn't be getting hacked if I have cryptos. Apparently, the CDC or SEC, sorry, not CDC, but the SEC is suing or threatening to sue Coinbase. I wonder what's gonna go on with that. Pretty crazy though when you hear some of the stories of people like I lost $150,000 of cryptos over Coinbase and everything like that. They were supposed to be holding it for me and everything's gone. Yeah, I find most people in the community are, at least after this past year, are newer to stacking. I feel like there's a lot of people who are newer to stacking in the community, which is always good. It's good to see that the community is growing with fresh stackers who haven't. I like the one thing I really like about those new channels is everything like all their thoughts are not really influenced or anything yet. Everything's seems really genuine and everything like that. And you might not always agree with what they have to say or think, okay, there's some things here that you definitely wouldn't do, but I always learn something from those new channels and everything. Well said, B2 constitutional. Yeah, silver really isn't that important if you can't protect it and eat. At least if you're stacking as a hedge against inflation, like I typically buy bullion and everything because it's a hedge against inflation. I anticipate electric cars to be going into production and everything, but lately I found myself with with just seeing the mindset of the leaders in the election that's happening now, I'm like, okay, we're screwed. We're screwed. So I've been kind of stacking. Like I just think inflation's not the priority at all. So I've been buying. I feel like having more junk silver might be wiser, and yay, if just potentially to barter with at some point. Not that I think it'll get to that point, really. I really don't. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I buy silver because if I spent my money on silver, no one can borrow the cash from me. I feel ya. I feel ya, Juan Velasquez. Actually, one of the best parts about silver, when I first started stacking, was any bad spending habit. Like for a month, if you just go take your silver and just be like, I'm gonna spend all my. What do I need to live? Okay, the rest goes to which we call it. The rest goes to silver or whatever. That's what I did for like a month. After that month, every bad spending habit was broken. And like never went back to anything. Any bad spending habits or anything. Long story short, VT, no. Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like that's probably one of the best things it does for people with bad spending habits or anything like that. Just prevents them from wasting the money. I'd rather waste 10% of my money on a premium or whatever than waste all my money. That's kind of the way I saw it at the beginning. And yeah, I just kind of stuck to that for about a month or so. And then yeah, all the habits are broken. You could start doing other things. You don't need to put everything into silver to break habits. You start saving some cash on the side and everything like that. And everything works out great. But I find most people, they like it, math doesn't get them in financial trouble or anything like that. It's not about the income and stuff like that. I've had pretty awful paying jobs in my past, but like looking back, I'd be complaining, be like, "Oh, that was the reason. That was the reason why I couldn't get ahead. I'm not making enough or whatever." But I'm looking back, it's like, no, I could have done things different, and I could have been better today if I did things better back then. Yeah, well, when I started buying like any all birthday stuff, Christmas stuff, I normally just get silver or something like a coin. Normally, like I try to get like something nice though, like a reverse proof privy maple or something like that. I find the kids in the family like it. Adults think it's cool or whatever. But like when I go to a family party or something, like everyone's getting so many presents, and I was gonna say it's all just going to support China anyways. It's like, why not just get them some silver? At least they'll have something of lasting value, and I'm not supporting that. It's not like they're gonna miss out on something else. Like they just gotta like if they just get how many gifts, why not get them something that has a bit of lasting value with it? I don't have any debt or anything now, but oh man, it was bad before. 'Cause I had to go to court for custody for my son before. It's like Yeah, I was paying out the lawyer back and like paying down all my debts and stuff at the same time. Like, oh, that was a fortune I spent on that when like $25,000 worth of debt. Oof. I see. Yeah, that was brutal at the time. So I did like crazy OT for like quite a while. Then doing all the OT, I quickly kind of worked my way up the ranks where I was, became a foreman, and started making some pretty crazy money. Like, I don't know if I'll ever make that kind of money again. Crazy the ups and downs in life go from crazy debt to just like a year later being like, I don't think I'll ever be having this income ever again in my life. Oh yeah, getting out of debt, that's the killer. You can get your own house and your own cars and everything if you have no debt, but it's the interest working against you and that compounding interest that it just kills everything. And then once it's demoralizing and it affects you in other areas of your life, not just your wallet or your bank account or whatever. You start to feel bad about yourself or whatever, and then you got to find some kind of motivation to get you out of it. At least that's kind of how it was for me. Oh, you nailed it on the head. Farmer, there'd be way less wasteful consumption. And the thing about the wasteful consumption is it's pretty much like you think about that trend of like fidget spinners and stuff that was you'd see people going around with. Like I remember my son was asking me for one, and I was just thinking like I remember explaining to him where the money trail would end up, and he's just like, "No, I don't want one. I don't want one now." And I'm just like, "I could get you one, but if I got you one, this is where the money would go." Yeah, and he kind of quickly changed his mind. I'm really glad to hear that, successful slave. Yeah, honestly, like people will be complaining about all the money printing, but like some people, like they really needed a helping hand in that time. I think that it could have been more focused if they are gonna like the social safety net, and they could have given more, and it could have cost way less if it was more focused. But I also think that you shouldn't be printing money to pay your bills today. It should every generation should pay their own way. It shouldn't be coming from freshly printed money. Can you imagine if they're just like, oh, tomorrow you're getting a stimulus check right on the debt? Yeah, that would make me think things are a lot worse than I suspect. If they're, oh, there's a big market crash, everyone's getting a stimulus check. I would be a bit suspicious about that. I completely agree. Vacation time. I don't get why you'd increase taxes so that you could give everyone money back. It makes no sense to me. I've actually always been laughing at that. I'm like, wouldn't it make more sense to keep more people employed and everything by just not making people pay tax, or at least cutting tax at the very least? But instead, we're talking about taxing more, which I just don't get it. So I feel like there's all the debates and everything behind tax is just there's there's a logical argument both ways when it comes to tax, but I feel like we shouldn't need to demand money from people to pay our way in life. I think like in BC and stuff, we have all these different roads that were built by logging companies because it's just in their interest to make it accessible and make all this area accessible for everyone. Then they set up a resort. They're making money off of oh, you want to go see this lake or whatever? We built this and we're going to toll you for using our road. And they could go up to the lake and do whatever you guys want and blah, 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 blah. Like, I just feel like there's so many different ways that things that all these necessities could be paid for besides, like, in my mind, it's just stealing the taxes. Thank you, Former. I appreciate that. Yeah, they tend to just keep going up over time. At least that's what I find. They don't really go away, as you say, B2. That's so funny, Big Country. Oh, hey, Big Country. Good to see ya. Smoking tax is supposed to deter people from smoking. Taxing alcohol is supposed to deter people from drinking. What is income tax for again? That is brilliant. I'm going to do a community post and link your channel and quote that. Yeah, I kind of agree. Governments are getting too big and their tentacles are spreading out everywhere. Oh, yeah, because I completely agree with that, Sarge. I was going to say, like, one thing Canadians aren't even thinking about is they're talking about all how much more spending we need to do for all these different social programs. But when Pierre Trudeau was in charge, we had to, because of all of his spending, we had to cut back our healthcare. But instead of thinking about protecting and paying down everything so we could protect the all the benefits that society gives us today and all these social programs that we have in place today, such as getting our healthcare paid for, we're talking about running up more money so that we could get all these different social programs, but then we're going to end up overspending. So then we're going to need to cut back them way back to less than what we have today. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, toll roads. I do completely agree with that. But hey, if in my personal opinion though, is if they're taking a lake that's completely inaccessible in northern BC, they build a logging road and everything for their own little logging project, toll you for going up there. Then one thing about that though is I find all that stuff has been taken away, all the tolls and stuff after a while, because they're like places like that typically set up like a lodge or some kind of gift shop, some kind of this, some kind of that, and that's how they make their money off the tourists that come up. So then they have their logging industry, and they make money off of people that come to see the lake. And it's kind of beneficial for them to build a public road up there. They own the land and they got the monopoly for everything going on up there. So if you could bring more people up there, you know what I mean? And a lot of businesses kind of follow that. mindset, and they might build their route completely on their own dime. Yeah, the Evergrande is getting crazy, Sarge. The cracks are starting to show in the system. China Evergrande might be the pinprick that pricks the bubble, or a pin that pricks the bubble. I believe this way we live right now will come to a crash. Then we will go back to normal. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that I honestly think that we are gonna go into the most extreme I think we're in the most extreme economic experiment that the world has ever seen right now. Like you think about some things that are happening, like we're thinking, like you look back, Greece. When they completely collapsed. That it started going down because they're playing games with their bucks to try to hide their 110% debt to GDP ratio. We're way above that. They completely collapsed at 127%. Like the States is way above this. Canada's we're above the 110. I think we're at 117% right now. Like this is think about what has been deemed absolutely atrocious and unacceptable to be dealing with other countries having other currencies and everything having that kind of like a 110% debt to GDP ratio. The line in the sand for the European Union to be able to adopt the euro was 60%, and now everyone's over 100%. Crazy. Really crazy times we're in. That's like a good like we might Canada's saying, "Oh, we got a low debt to GDP ratio in the G7," but like you could say we're a 0.1 out of 10. We're not a 0, but I mean, come on, like it's awful. At least in my opinion, that is. And you seem good if you're comparing. You could always find something to compare yourself to make yourself feel good instead of just being accountable for where you are at. When you find yourself comparing yourself to others, it's because you know you are not in a good position yourself, in my personal opinion. Put away years worth of food and water, plenty of ammunition, and spend the rest of your money on silver. Yeah, not a bad plan. I personally want to do the rest of your money on silver, but I've got a large percentage of my portfolio on silver. A bit more than a financial advisor would recommend, let's say. Sitting on top of a clock tower with a rifle, just deer hunting. When is any country ever going to pay back its debt? I don't know, but every country. It's funny how every country's in debt. I think that's like, I think that's just crazy. Every country in the world's in debt. If I'm wrong, I'd love to know the country or that is not in debt. But I I can't think of any country that isn't in debt. I have the time right now, so I do. But the schedule is changing soon. I might have to slow down. That's yeah, I couldn't really make videos and stuff, so I kind of cut out the animation. I decided just not doing the animation and stuff this week and kind of simplify the videos, keep it all casual, and try to do some streams instead of the videos. So some of those videos would take a lot of effort to do. Some are just like you walk up to the camera, you talk. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? It could be like 5-10 minutes to like record, edit, upload, pretty much. There's a few videos like the 10 most expensive coins. Like, that took a while to make that one. I'll be too. Johnny's a lady. I'm pretty sure that's a very common mistake, though. If no one had any debt, then no one would be obligated to make things work. That's true. That is true. That's a scary thought, though. Took me 6 hours to edit my time video. Editing takes so long. I could not imagine editing on a phone. I've got pretty good like editing software and everything too. I use Adobe, and like they make everything super easy. I could not imagine editing on a phone. That would take me like days to make like a 3-minute video. I don't know how people do that. What are you going to trade us to a video on your Camaro? Maybe I'll include it in driving up to the LCS in a video or something like that. Or maybe we'll just do a fun video on the Camaro sometime. Although, driving that thing in Canada in the winter, that would be terrifying. I'm not sure if I'd actually want to do that or not. Like, I think I would be absolutely terrified to drive that in the winter. It has awful traction in the summer. Good night, Former. It's good to have you here. Thanks for all the support. I appreciate you. Phone is all I got. Yeah, that's rough. Like, editing on a phone is hard. I would get so frustrated. Although I probably wouldn't try the animation or anything like that. That was a comment from my wife. I know you're all quiet like you broke or something. Oh yeah, they're a blast. I remember the first time I took it out and did a few donuts in it, I thought that was the funnest thing ever. Although they're really hard to control. Those third gens. I feel like the earlier generation, the earlier you go, I feel like it just keep getting harder and harder. built a Pro Street Opel GT. My now ex-wife asked what I was going to do when it snows. I said, Mickey Thompson makes paddle tires. That's hilarious. One thing I always thought would be fun to do would be take it out with like horse and buggy wheels. Just put some really oddball kind of wheels on it. Like nothing. Don't do anything too extreme that you can't just unbolt and rebolt the new ones on or anything. But I think that'd be a very, very interesting ride. Oh wow. I would hate to be that restaurant owner. Did anyone ever hit the restaurant? Oh, nice, Hayabusa. That's awesome. I've got a 1991 B350 Dodge van. It was a church bus at one time with my tools in it. It comes in around 9K pounds. That's a heavy, heavy van. We'll go in just about anything. Not always forward, but we'll go. That's so funny. And break his latest. Oh wow. I'd be I'd be terrified to be that restaurant owner. I feel like people are just trying to scare the crap out of me. How many tries before someone got his brand new Camaro through the wall? Ouch. Brand new Camaro through the wall. That would suck. I don't have a I don't have too much going through the wheels right now. I've got maybe 200 horsepower, but yeah, I'm kind of did a lot of prep work for 350 to go in because it only has the 305 right now. But I did things like a transmission, rear end. There's the headers and exhaust and all that I did just to prep for the. Because it's all still going to be a small block Chevy and everything's just going to fit right on. I just have the exhaust size for a 383, even though I'm going to put a 350 in. But I kind of just did some prep work for the 350 so far. No, we don't have to do the. We used to have this thing called air care here, and yeah, we got rid of that. Right when everyone started saying go green, go green, go green, but then what would happen was you'd go to your mechanic, you'd be like, I want to pass air care. You'd go get your air care done, and then you'd be like, okay, make it normal again to your mechanic. So it's just a joke. Our air care system here, like everyone, I don't know one person that would actually drive with it tuned for the air care and all that. Because you'd literally go there 5 minutes later, like you could even send your mechanic. Like people would send their mechanics to go pass the air care for them. So then it has your like your vehicle number and all that kind of stuff. Your insurance and everything says that you've passed the air care inspection. But it's literally you're not taking it to the air care. You're getting your mechanic to do it. Then you pick up the car just as normal. I know so many people who did that. That was before I was driving though, but I always thought that was the funniest thing though. How we have to it's literally just wasting money. Not in BC, Sarge. As I say here, I haven't insured like when I got my Camaro, it wasn't insured for 6 years when I bought it. It was just sitting around for 6 years. But it's sitting around on cement, not grass. That's the key though. So no rusting from sitting around, but what's going on, Debbie Silvertrap. But yeah, I never had to get in a full inspection or anything. But that also could be because I just called it a rebuild because my odometer doesn't work. Yeah, kind of a funny part in the car to be broken. So I have no idea. I bought a car with a broken odometer, but it cost me like $1,000 at the time, which is like nothing. So we call our barge. We used it to pull the camper for a while when we flew camping a few years ago. Yeah, camping is always fun. I used to go camping, and I haven't gone in like a couple years, but I guess part of it's beaver fever, part of it's just worth it to go here. Like nobody's going out and doing things really. It's hard to get a group together on the same page right now. Here in Quebec, the mechanics would detune the engine fans. Yeah, that sounds exactly what happened here, Sarge. But we don't do that anymore. I think everyone understood it's just a joke to try to get people to tune their car to be worse and perform bad and actually hurt the car so they could drive it for 5 minutes to pass a test, then have it tuned properly again. Well, Mr. Hayabusa, I can't get any classic tags or collector plates or anything like that until it's 50 years old. Because it's a rebuild, if it was not a rebuild and just like a clean title status, then it would be deemed a classic and everything, and I could do basically like all the new laws since then, nothing applies or anything. Yeah, that's what it is if it has a clean title status here, but because my car would be a rebuilt, because the odometer is like I never fixed. I don't care how. I don't need to know that. If I need to know if it's a time for an oil change, I'll check the oil. If I did or a transmission change, I'll check the transmission fluid. For me, I could figure all that stuff out, so I don't even need the odometer really. I have a 1989 Civic Si in my garage, waiting for the extra Fiat to give it some TLC. Yeah, some of those old Civics are pretty cool. I do have to say. I've never really been into the Japanese cars until I got my daily driver would be an Infinity, and yeah, I got it for in right at the end of 2019 for $5,000, and it's been crazy reliable. I just love the thing, and everything's Nissan parts, so if anything simple or whatever does need to be replaced, it's really cheap for the parts. Just get the Nissan version, and you're not going to pay much for it. I had a guy come up to me one day and said, "Man, that van is fast. I was racing down the bypass the other day and I couldn't even keep up." I said I wouldn't talk about losing a race. That's so funny. Yeah, those Toyota Prius aren't, honestly, they're not too bad. And yeah, I don't think, like, 2008, I wouldn't really see anything too wrong with owning that. And as a daily driver, everything's just trade-offs. Nothing's like, okay, I want this or I want that. It's just some things that you think you want are just awful daily, or in a daily driver, and some things you don't think you want, you should value more in your daily driver. Like for my Infinity and stuff like that, that's my daily driver. I I wish I had a bit more space in it, in the trunk and everything, 'cause it's a coupe. And like I'm single, I got my son, he's small, he could fit in the back, no problem, but like try getting an adult sit in the back, that ain't happening. Like that's not gonna happen. I've had my friend in there before, his head was like all pressed up against the back window and everything, and I had to apologize to him for making him sit there. I felt so bad. He looked so awkward. I went a little crazy with some customizing. Yeah, I didn't really do any customizing. Bought some new wheels for the Infinity with the Camaro. I did some customization, but dailies I don't really like to touch the motor too much. There's some bolt-on parts, but I don't really want to start taking motors or transmissions or rear ends apart on a daily driver. I like the reliability, and I'm not going to pretend I'm smarter than a mechanic or an engineer who gets paid tons of money in order to engineer those things. Although for a summer car, yeah, I'll do a lot of customization stuff. Platinum's a good value vacation time. I don't know where the best value is, but I really think that Platinum's getting some good value. I think that the production lines on vehicles are part of what's slamming Platinum, but I just don't think you go too wrong buying Platinum because there's so little of it on this planet. It's ridiculous how little of it there is. You think there's such a small amount of gold? There's way less platinum than there is gold. Like the platinum group of metals in general, there's just not a whole lot of it. 2002 was peak production for Lexus. Good couple years. Yeah, I've never ridden in a Lexus before, to be honest. I've never sat in a Lexus or anything, but they they seem like a real nice vehicle. It seems like the kind of car that someone older and wiser than myself would drive, if that makes sense. Someone who would not own two cute sports cars would drive. When it was all in working order, I let it sit for a couple years. I ran the second solenoid to another set of batteries in the back of the van when the motor was running, charging all three. Does Platinum uses money anywhere in the world? Not to my knowledge, but to my the only reason why it hasn't been used as money mainstream throughout history is because of the melting temperature. It was really hard just to get temperatures high enough to heat copper in the past, right? Because they didn't have all the technology and ease of melting everything like they do today. But now, since we have the technology to melt platinum, there's no real like it'd make better money than gold today, in my personal opinion. We needed to jump. I would go back up to your car and have the jumper cables matching. I would hit you with three 850 amp batteries and a 200 amp alternator. Yeah, I had to get a new alternator for the Camaro. I've got two 10-inch subs in the back, and at the beginning of the summer, first drive, it's nice. Second drive, you just want to unplug them and just shuck the entire thing out of your car. You don't want to annoy the neighbors every day. Oh, hey, what's going on, Silverman Family Values? Good to see you. Great to have you here. You can get 4.9s fine gold. You can get 4.9s fine silver. But the best you can get with platinum is 3.9s 5. Fine. Yeah, I've always wondered about that. About why it's not just 3.9s and why they have to have the 5 there. I wonder why that 5 is there as a standard. What's going on, Silvermans? Good to see you. How have you been tonight? Yeah, it's really, really, really hard to refine platinum. I find it's also just the melting temperature. Like, that's huge because you need to have a specific, like, my furnace will not even come close to melting platinum. It'll get me like halfway there. So you need like a specific platinum melting furnace. Everything that was added in the van, like radio and inverter, that would power a few things, ran off the back batteries. If something happened and I needed to jump, I had that button on the deck. Oh, that's sweet. I've been doing pretty good. Kind of busy this week, so I figured instead of making some videos, I'd try streaming a bit. I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Just like did that the other night, then tonight I'm like, you know what? I had some fun with it. Got to hang out with some people and everything. Gonna try it out again tonight. Got bored, so yeah, probably gonna be start doing quite a few more streams. I'm really enjoying it. Waiting to go fairly soon here, but it's good to hang out with everyone a few times a week. Start trying to wait to figure out a schedule and everything for the streaming. Oh yeah, for sure, Silvermans. It's awesome. Definitely a change of pace from all the videos and everything. As say every night for me is a good chill chat night. Monday is a real nice good chill chat night for sure. But I need to start getting mini meal to sleep soon. My wife with the headlights on time to time when I hated getting a jump. Yeah, I feel ya. Yeah, when before I got my alternator swapped, I thought there's a bad connection somewhere or something. So I every once in a while I just hit the terminal and it seemed to. I guess it was just a coincidence at the time, but it seemed to run it. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a jump start or whatever and just jump it if at the odd time this happens. Then it started happening more and more. I'm like, okay, I need a new alternator. Yeah, you should be too constitutional. You got some great ideas, great thoughts, and that'd be awesome. I always like to hear and watch videos from different people in the community. Hey, what's going on, Partridge Family Prospecting? Good to see you. So I would give the markets one more check, and they're up even more. Not by much, but I just think it's funny how every time I look at the market since the close, all the pre-markets are up more and more every time I look. Yeah, if you want to do a collab, that'd be awesome, B2. I'm always up for it. That goes for any of you out there. Collabs are always fun. Yeah, I gotta give a lot more wrenches out. I haven't been doing as many premieres and everything as I used to, but I definitely need to be adding some more wrenches here. There we go. A few more moderators. I guess it's kind of bad when you're like, oh yeah, could you drop this link? And like nobody's a moderator in your chat. It's kind of better when there's some blue. Yeah. It's like, okay, what names do I see right away? Let's just make them all blue. I just feel like Oprah with the wrenches. You get a wrench, you get a wrench, you get a wrench. It's like this radio ad that's going on where I live. You're just like calling our election right now the Oprah election. You get a million jobs. You get a million jobs. I'm like, this is so true. This is brilliant. You get a timeout. You get a timeout. Everybody gets a time. That's funny. So I'm gonna wrap it up basically right away now. But before I do, I think I'm gonna. One thing I forgot to do last time is I forgot to do the end of stream. So yeah, I'm gonna put a $50 up for the end of stream, a Canadian 80% $50. And I'm just gonna grab a pen and paper and write a number down, throw it on the in view there. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Got my pen and paper here. I guess you should get all this stuff together before, but I live and learn. So I'm gonna write a number range in the chat, and when you guys see it, you can guess. One guess only. Closest gets it. Okay, there we go. So that'll be 110 to 135. And one guess only. It's been awesome hanging out with all of you guys tonight. I really do appreciate all the support and everything. Just being awesome members of the community. Oh, I need to add a few more wrenches. Everyone gets a wrench. Because why not? Alright, well, I guess I do see the number in the chat. It is Successful Slave at 123. It's showing you guys backwards, but you can see it though. 123 for Successful Slave. Congrats. You're going to be getting the 80% half dollar. And yeah, so we got to drop a link and raid someone. Now, last time I had Sarge drop a link and I couldn't figure out if the thing wouldn't let me go to the Trevor's live stream, but I want to hope for the best tonight. And yeah, if anyone has a channel they want to go support, want to go raid, that'd be awesome. You could feel free to drop a link. I have no idea who's live right now. Yeah, congrats, Successful Slave. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm about ready for bed too. All right, Cajun Coin Hunter, there we go. Thank you, Big Red. Or, sorry, not Big Red, Big Country. All right, we'll go there, drop some fours, drop some hashtag BeaverDamFams. And for some reason, that link is taking me to the Creator Studio. But Cajun Coin Hunter, okay, I'm going to go there to his chat right now. Thanks. Bye.